Oh wow, you're a pretty big guy. Who are you?
ETH reward.
Faith? Huh? Are you a god or something? You look like a god. You look pretty powerful and big.
Insight reward.
Insight? Man, nobody can tell the future. I'm just a human. Humans can't tell the future. I want a reward. How can I get a reward?
Courage reward.
Courage? Is there something dangerous coming? Do I need to worry? What's coming? Am I gonna die?
Just save the LP already.
Hello and welcome to Caesar's Snack Sandwich. Today we're going to take a look at Squid DAO. So Squid DAO is an interesting project that I've came across. Now, I was given a friend of mine, I posted this, on the 25th. It says, big friend of mine said I should look at this Squid DAO thing. So I've been kind of lurking around inside the Discord and talking to people and trying to figure out what's going on here and learning some new things that I find very interesting, and I wish I would like to share them with you. So basically what this project is doing is it's taking two established projects in the market already. The first one being nouns.WTF. Now, what is nouns.WTF is they are basically this. It says one noun every day forever. So this contract is generating these images every day, and they're auctioning them off every day, one noun per day, and they usually go for about 18, between look the prices of these right there. Hundreds of ETH and at least 100, but look at these prices. They're quite high, right? So this is they took this idea and they took this kind of system here. They made some changes to it, simplified it a little bit. Like the nouns contract is actually generating this image by itself, whereas over here on Squid DAO, this is obviously not generated by the contract. This is an artist's rendition of a squid. So what they started to do is they started to sell these. Now they're selling these NFTs for the purpose of bootstrapping the second part of this. Now the second part is going to be what looks like to be a fork of Ohm, or a rendition of Ohm, whatever you want to call it. But they are going to change a key feature. If you don't know what Ohm does, you can watch a video. I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. However, there's a couple of mistakes in there, so don't be too harsh on me. Like when you're saying, hey, you've got I pressed the market cap and I started talking about price and stuff like that. So anyhow, you get the idea of what Ohm is if you don't already know what Ohm is. But just to give you a quick little explanation here, the idea of the Ohm system, or the Ohm mechanic, if we want to call it that, or DeFi 2.0, is that protocols are no longer going to need to incentivize people to provide liquidity to liquidity pools and with tokens, and then the tokens, when they finish, the tokens dry up, then people pull their liquidity and sell everything, right? So the idea of this Olympus DAO brilliance is that they're going to ask people to use the LPs to bond. So sell us your LPs and we will give you tokens. And then because they're bonding, they're getting ownership. The protocol itself is getting ownership of the LPs and the assets that they allow for bonding, and then they give them the token. Now, why does somebody want the token? It's because they can stake it inside. Now, where are the APYs coming from when they stake these tokens inside? Well, the APY comes from the bonds are priced higher than the required backing. So in Ohm's case, one Ohm token has to be backed by one DAI. But one Ohm token is currently selling for 1,000 DAI or 1,200 DAI or something like that. I don't know the current price. But so 1,200 DAI. So if they sell a bond at, let's say, $1,000, then they have $999 to give to the people who are staked. This is the main idea and the general overview. If you want to know better, please watch that other video or go ahead into the docs and read it. So Squid DAO is going to use this, but instead of backing each token by DAI, they're going to back each token by Ethereum. So they're actually there's going to be no US dollars. I haven't seen anywhere in here where they talk about US dollar value of anything. It's all in ETH. So this is the idea of this protocol. It's kind of for people who are like ETH maxi or like long ETH or stacking ETH, trying to get more ETH. And this is a way you can possibly do this, right? So what's interesting about this this auction here is what they're calling a fair launch. Okay, they call this a fair launch. Now, why is it a fair launch? Like, let's take a look at here and let's see here. You can even see I came in here and I was like, oh, I believe, I guess it doesn't show me. It should be here somewhere. I bid here, CEAZOR.ETH, 3 ETH. I was like, yeah, I'll bid 3 ETH on this. And then I bid 3 ETH on it, and then it went up to 20. And I was like, oh, I'm priced out. Like, I'm too small fish for this, right? And then if you look at the prices as the NFTs move on, they just keep getting higher and higher and higher and higher. As more and more people find out about it, higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, all the way up to some currently 150, and there's a few in here we're selling for like more than 200 ETH. So people are, some people are complaining like, this is not a fair launch. Like, how can the little guy take part in this, right? The way I look at it is, it's fair. It's not fair for everybody. It's not equal opportunity for everybody. Think of it this way. Like, if you look at every protocol needs some sort of funding to start. So the funding has to come from somewhere. The money to start the protocol needs to come from somewhere. Some protocols raise money from VCs, so they have a group of friends or they have a company or somebody like that who they ask, hey, give us some money, and then they start the protocol. Or the protocol themselves, they have a bunch of money for whatever reason. Maybe they have big bags or something and they fund it themselves, right? And then there is what these guys are doing. They're asking the market to fund fairly. In the sense, anybody can come here. I could come here and bid. Now, if I had 150 ETH to bid, I could bid, right? So they're not choosing anybody. It's the market chooses who wants to fund this project. And that to me is fair. It's not great for me because I can't take part. I cannot buy one of these squids and participate in that. And however, but like, it is a pre-sale to some extent. Like, when you buy one of these squid tokens or these squid NFTs, you also get one squid token. Okay. Now, how much is the squid token worth? What is the cost of the squid token? How much will the protocol issue the squid token to be worth? When they issue the LP, when they build the LP, I'm told that they're going to use the average price of these NFTs. Now, they could do 1-to-1, right? They could put 1 ETH for 1 squid, but then the bots would come in and buy all the ETH up until it gets to this guy. This guy who bought this 200 ETH. He's got to wait until the price goes up to 200 ETH just to break even, right? Just on, he could flip his NFT and get some money that way. But just to break even, he has to wait until the price goes up to 200 ETH for 1 squid, right? Because that's what he paid, 200 ETH, and he gets 1 squid. So what they're going to do instead is they're going to make the price of the squid, or of the squid, equal the average price of these. Now, I assume, I'm not certain, but I assume maybe it's not going to be exactly average. It might not be exactly the middle. I'm not sure. I don't know. But, I've been watching it. I've been checking things out and trying to figure out how best I can react. And, whether or not I'm going to, ape this or not, this is a question that you have to try to understand. In my opinion, it's kind of there's some serious people in here. There are some serious people bidding on this. Who knows what their motives are, what they're going to do when the market drops. But I would think someone who wants to pay, 197 ETH for one of these is not completely worried about, getting all his money back, right? And I've spent some time in the Discord and I've been talking to people about NFTs and trying to understand NFTs better because I don't know NFTs. I don't understand them. I don't understand what's going on. And one of the NFT whales gave me some information that really changed my mindset and my understanding of the NFT game. And I would like to share this with you. And basically what he said was that when he makes moves in DeFi, let's say he goes into a protocol and he buys a whole bunch of those tokens, and then that token price goes up quite a bit, quite drastically, right? And then other people see, oh, this whale bought these tokens. He must want his money back. I should buy now too. And then they hop on top of his back, right? Now, as the little guy starts hopping on top of his back, then he's now in a position of responsibility to take care of them. He's not in a comfortable position because he's in a profit. If he takes his money back out, these people all get wrecked, right? So DeFi is a difficult game for whales to play unless they are selfish. If they have any kind of care about like other people, then it becomes a difficult like moral question, right? About what should they do? Should they sell their liquidity? Should they close their liquidity pool? Should they keep going? Should they take all the dumping on them? It's a hard question. Like everyone's out for themselves in some senses, right? So you can't expect someone to be like, oh, I'm just going to give my money away for free, right? They have to, so there's a difficult situation. However, in the NFT game, they don't have this problem as much. So if somebody buys this for 197 ETH, he's not really affecting the price of all of the other ones. Yeah, they're kind of raising the floor, as you can see, as they got 100, now they're all 100. So kind of raising the floor, right? But at the same time, he's not raising the floor of all the tokens in one swift boot. He did kind of there is a little bit of this concept because this price here is going to raise the value, the average, and raise the value of each Squid token, right? But the NFT game in general, like when they buy these nouns, there's no token being manipulated or price being pumped or something. So this is a playground for them to play, and they can make money. Like this guy here, whoever bought this for 200 ETH, he could probably sell this somewhere. It does say it's a DAO, so maybe it's a group of people. They could flip this and maybe make 230 ETH somewhere, or who knows, right? I don't know. Maybe they're just hoarding it for the long-term asset value or something, as an investment and so forth. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I think this project is pretty interesting too. Like, I really like how that they don't have any choice. The team has no choice who's going to buy these. They have no friends. Like, they can tell their friends, hey, come buy one of these squid. It's a good idea, right? They can do that, but they can't specifically say, hey, these people are going to be able to get cheaper than all of those people. There's no choice there. There is in the Discord, I do hear a lot of people saying, hey, can the OGs, like the roles, can we get discounts and stuff? And the team just consistently rejects this idea. Like, no, I'm sorry, you buy the NFTs. That's the fair launch idea. So there's even the people who jumped into the Discord early and are like, hey, we want early access to the token. That's not the case, right? Now, when the LP does launch, I heard that it might be launching soon. I'm not sure. I don't know your time. I can't tell you exactly when. But I do understand. I'm trying to figure out how best I can react because, I cannot buy one of these. I tried to, group up some people to buy when it was like bidding around like in the 30s and stuff. And we found enough people and we're like, oh, maybe we can get one. Let's wait a little bit, right? And then all of a sudden, it's just escalated and escalated. And now it's, the whales aren't going to allow these things to go back down to like 20s and 30s or like 10s or anything. So it's kind of impossible for a small group of small people to get in here. So I'm trying to figure out what best to do myself. And you can probably figure out what best to do for yourself. But just to give you some idea, like possibilities that I'm thinking about, and you can consider whether or not that's useful information for you or not. And that is, there's a chance that the LP, when it drops, that the price just goes parabolic. It just keeps going up and doesn't go down. So that would imply that it would be best to buy immediately, right? So there is that consideration. There is the consideration that some of these people who bought at the lower prices, like 38, and it drops, the LP drops, and he's already doubled his money because let's say the LP drops and the prices average of all the things, and some of them are sold 200, so maybe the average is 70 or 80. So he's immediately made like twice his money. He might sell. There might be all of these early people who sell. They're not all of them, some of them. So there might be a dip in price, right? And then that would be a better time to get in if that's what you want to do. Now, the other thing you could do is just obviously sit back and watch and for entertainment and see what happens, right? But there is going to likely be the same kind of APY growth as there was with Olympus and with Klima and with Wonderland. And I like this also because there's no stealth. Everybody knows it's coming. The team doesn't tell you exactly when it's coming, but they've given like 3 days of like prep time. You can prep, you can think, you can consider, and then it happens. So that's nice, right? That's helpful and so forth. So I think that pretty much covers Squid DAO for now. Once it does drop and there is an app and I can like connect my wallet and start maybe using tokens, I will consider whether or not we need to do another video on explain the mechanics behind the Squid token and bonding and stuff like that. But I think for now, I think it's pretty good. If you really want to know more, you can kind of read this facts. The facts are pretty good. A little bit vague in some places, but interesting and still kind of informative and a quick read. You could read through all of these and get a pretty good idea of what the mission is of this project. Okay, so that's pretty much it for now. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.